Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So my name is Paulo and today we're going to be talking about how much you can actually earn in the UK. Okay, so if you did miss out on any of the previous videos around this topic, I've already covered Belgium and the Netherlands. Okay, all of those three countries are some of the countries where I used to live and work. Okay, so I'm quite keen to share my experience with regards to that. Okay, so check them out. Today's video is essentially focused on the UK then, so I'm going to give you then a high level on how much can you actually earn there, but aside from that the main focus is actually on CRM, so customer relationship management, and how much can you actually earn working on that specific area. Okay, what is this about and why? Essentially, the Salesforce economy is growing at an impressive rate. Okay, so it's actually expecting to create 9.3 million jobs by 2026 and a revenue of roughly 1.6 trillion, okay, by 2026. Okay, so if you want to know more about this, if you want to ride the wave, and if you want to get one of those jobs, okay, so stick around to know more. Okay, first, a bit of context. Let's talk about the Salesforce Tracks. Okay, so if you want to get to any of those jobs, or if you want to fast track and you want to understand, for instance, how much can you actually earn in the UK so that you can apply for it, it's important also for you to understand a bit of the background of what are the main tracks that exist within Salesforce and what are the tracks that can actually eventually apply to you based on your background in terms of experience, but also of profile. Okay, so looking into this, and since I've worked on Salesforce since 2012, I'm going to be sharing my experience with regards to that. And also, one extra point, since we are actually talking about UK, I would say that UK has one of the most advanced, meaning markets in terms of CRM, if not the most advanced. And with regards to that, from a European perspective, that is, with regards to this, so one of the things that I feel that is important, aside from the four tracks, I will give you a bit more. But going back, okay, so based on my experience since 2012, I'll say that you have four main tracks. Okay, so you have the admin. So as an admin, you are the go-to person for the users. Okay, you are the one that should be focusing on training, on troubleshooting, adoption of the CRM. Okay, and you are the one that can eventually do high level automations and configurations, and also a bit more complex kind of automations with flows, with process builders and things like that. Okay, so this is the admin track. And then you have the other one that is around the developers. Okay, so as a developer, you essentially are focused on the code side of things, let's put it like that to try to simplify, but essentially you are the person that actually is focused on finding the solutions, looking at more advanced automations, most likely with flows, but also in connection to code, Apex, but also our components and so forth. Okay, so this is the role of the developer. Then you have the consultant. So the consultant is someone that actually almost like builds the bridge up to a certain point between the customer, but also between the more tech part of the team in terms of the business requirements, but also is someone that needs to advise the customer in terms of solutions, but also the team and working in terms of the overall business knowledge, and also high level understanding of the platform, or a deeper understanding of the platform in terms of the functionality. So what we call functional consultants, but also there are more of a technical consultant as well. Okay, so this is a bit. So in a nutshell, a consultant needs to cover the business side of things, but also the functionality side of things, and talk to the team, and in terms of working it out in terms of functions, etc., or options that you have in terms of solutions as well. Okay, then lastly, One of the tracks that has more and more demand is with regards to the architect track. Okay, so with this, then you have essentially, when you're looking at an architect, we're talking and a certified architect, so roughly 1,600 globally. So we're talking about what we in Salesforce call the 1%. Okay, because you don't have that many certified architects. Okay, so the architect is the one then responsible from a technical or from a solution perspective to put the pieces of the puzzle together and have the overview of the entire solution and be the go-to person if there is a problem from a technical solution or even from a technical point of view, sorry, or from a solution perspective. Okay, so aside from this, since we are talking about UK, I'm going to give you a bit more on this. So on the UK, and since the market is more, let's say, mature with regards to this, more and more you see the need around, let's say, extended areas of the CRM with regards to integration. Okay, this is something that is growing more and more, and here we are looking, for instance, specifically at MuleSoft as a solution, for instance, where you're going to have loads and loads and loads of demand because the number of people that are actually working on MuleSoft is very small, okay, but that are certified. But the demand is very high. So the expectation for you is for you to actually to understand integration, and aside from that, also think on how is it that you can actually connect the dots between the different platforms, but you also need to know how to code on top of the platform if you need to build new connectors, or you can advise on connectors that are already pre-built, okay, so that connect to endpoints essentially. Okay, so and then the other point that is also important to share the thoughts with regards to the different tracks that is also getting more and more in demand. It's everything that has to do with the project management, the program management side of things, where more and more there is a need for people to actually to take on board this track. Okay, and this is a bit of a mix between someone that actually can have a high level understanding of the functionality, have an understanding of the business, can manage the timelines, can manage the constraints, the risks, and the delivery overall, okay? Or can be more of a tech kind of person that has more in-depth knowledge, that actually guides the team, gives the advice in terms of what can be also the solution together with the architect and the developers and the tech lead, etc. But it's someone that actually manage the time, manage the team, manage the project as a whole, the risks, and potential mitigation. So this is also one of the roles that is growing more and more, okay, from a CRM perspective, okay? So now we're going to be talking about money, so stick around for the next one. Okay, let's then talk money. Okay, so how much can you actually earn in the UK? Okay, so a bit of background first. So let's talk about the average salary. So the average salary in the UK is of roughly around 31k. Okay, so this translates, so 31,000 pounds. This translates into roughly 2,622, something around those lines in terms of monthly amount, let's put it like that. Okay, so but then you need to take into consideration the following. So to start from, the UK is a very expensive country. Okay, so you need to take into consideration that if you do not have children, or for instance you are a couple but without children, then life will be easier in the sense that most costs are driven by childcare, school, transportation, and housing. Okay, those are the main costs, I would say. But aside from that, also that is also important for you to take into consideration is that on the flip side, the CRM market in the UK is one of the most advanced in Europe, if not the most advanced in Europe. Okay, so on the flip side, I would say that if you're looking to consider a career within CRM, or even just going into the UK and work on the CRM area, take a look to the link. I've done a couple of videos, so one around working abroad in the UK with my friend Kate. Hi Kate. And then aside from that, also I've done another one about professional transformation, how to move to a different area, let's put it into CRM, or to evolve into CRM. Okay, so there you can find a few more, let's say, tips that can guide you towards that transformation. Also, if you're looking to get the visa, okay, I would say that working on CRM most likely is one possibility, because essentially you're going to be getting, I would say, more than the average salary if you are looking at a more mid senior level kind of position. Okay, so with that said, let's go and jump a bit into the details of the CRM market. Okay, so I'm going to be splitting this into initially, let's say, in two different dimensions. So about junior and also about more senior kind of roles. Okay, so I'm going to be starting then with the admin. Okay, and then I will evolve into the different let's say positions that I described before in terms of the Salesforce Tracks. Okay, so starting with the admin, if you are a junior admin, you should be expecting to get roughly between 29k, okay, as let's say a junior salary. And if you go towards the ranks, let's put it like that, you should be expecting to get roughly around 58k. Okay, so that should be your expectation looking at the specific area. Moving forward, so if you're going to be working as consultants, okay, you're going to be breaking this down in two different dimensions aside from the junior and the senior. So talking about functional and more technical. Okay, and I'll be giving you what the reality around the Sales Cloud and then on the Marketing Cloud. So looking at the Sales Cloud, aka the CRM, so if you are a functional consultant, you should be expecting to get roughly between 48k, okay, if you are more of a junior, okay, up to 65k if you are more of a senior consultant. This from a functional perspective. If you're working more on the technical side, I would expect for you to get roughly between 56k up to 80k. Okay, we are always talking about pounds and gross salary. Okay, so as a disclaimer. So but then if you go into the Marketing Cloud, things change a bit. So I would split this into different areas. So the meaning the more kind of day-to-day kind of work with email specialists, but also with regards to the consultant, okay, Marketing Cloud consultant. So here you should expect as a junior to get between 35k and 45k. This if you are a email specialist or if you are then a consultant, okay, this and the junior level. So if you go throughout the ranks, I would say that you should be getting roughly around the 70k mark, meaning if you are working within Marketing Cloud, could be that, for instance, on email specialist, if you're going to go really high and become really top-notch kind of professional, should get roughly around the 60-65 mark. And then if you're a consultant, then you should be expecting to get up to the 75 mark. Okay, that will be my expectation looking at the market and based on my experience of working in the UK and still working with several people that are essentially there. Okay, so then moving forward, if you are a developer, so what is it that you should expect? So developers have a wide range. Okay, so if you are more of a junior developer, you should expect to get roughly between 35k, but then as you go throughout the ranks, I would expect for you to get up to 84K. Okay, so that's the expectation. If you are a developer doing heavy coding, Apex, bringing up solutions up to the level that you are almost on the tech lead position, so you are leading a team, etc., etc. That's what you should be expecting. Then let's go into the more interesting, let's say, kind of roles in terms of their expertise, if you say so. I would not say even the expertise, but it's more about the fact that they are called the 1%, let's say, so more rare, I would call them. So we are talking about architects. So you have two types, though. You have the solution architect and you have the technical architect. Okay, so within this, you should be expecting, if you are a solution architect, you should be expecting to get between 73K if you are more of a junior, up to the 94K mark. Okay, please take always into consideration that the solution architect in average will get always less than the technical architect. Okay, but nevertheless it's a really good position in terms of evolution, salaries, etc. If you're more of a technical architect and you're going through this rank, the expectation is that you should be getting between I'll say roughly around 95K if you are more of a junior. Okay, and then get up to the 150K if you are more of a senior technical architect. Okay, so aside from this, I'm gonna give you a bit of a bonus, let's say. So as I said, the UK is more advanced, let's say, in terms of CRM. So normally speaking, if you take a look into the Netherlands and Belgium, for instance, I also gave you a bonus. So I spoke about the tester and the project manager, which I'm gonna give it today as well. But aside from that, I'm also gonna be touching today on the integration side of things. Okay, so if you are then, let's say, a tester. Okay, so as I mentioned, testers are not most likely the most well paid, let's put it like that, but nevertheless it's an interesting position within the CRM. So normally speaking, you should be looking at a more junior position to get roughly around the 35 to 42K if you're more of a junior tester, and then you can grow up to the 60K roughly. Okay, so which is not bad at all. Okay, if you are more into the project management side of things, I would say that you should be expecting, if you are more of a junior project manager, to get roughly between the 60K mark, and then if you go more towards the evolution, let's say, you should be expecting to get 94K. One thing that is extremely important while looking into the project manager side of things, this is not about being a generalistic project manager. You need to be more of a tech project manager. Okay, if you want to know more about that, I'll drop it on the link above. Take a look where I'm speaking about everything that you need to consider if you are looking to move into a more tech project manager position, and what are the differences between the more generalistic kind of project manager and the tech project manager. Okay, then lastly, as part of my bonus, let's put it like that, so I'm going to be talking about then integrations, and here I'm specifically talking about MuleSoft. Okay, so MuleSoft is the let's say the top-notch kind of platforms in terms of integrations. Okay, and here it's the king of integrations, let's put it like that. So Salesforce acquired MuleSoft couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and you have two positions that could be of interest for you. So one is the developer and the other one is the architect. Okay, if you are a developer, you should be expecting to get roughly between the 45K if you are more of a junior developer, and you can grow up to the 70K mark. Okay, if you are going more towards a senior position. Then looking into the architect and to close, you should be expecting to get, if you are a MuleSoft architect, you should be expecting to get between the 85 mark, more of a junior, up to 110 if you are more of a senior MuleSoft architect. Okay. And that is a wrap. Okay, hopefully this was an interesting part of this video. So stick around to the last one, the bonus track. Okay. Okay, to close down the bonus track. Okay, so on the next episode, we're going to be talking about Spain, okay, a country that essentially has a label of low wages, which is not always the reality. Okay, it will heavily depend on what is it that you're doing, the area that you are working at, and on the case of CRM, as you will see, that is actually not the reality. It's not true. Okay, so I would say, and I would advise you and dare you to tune to that episode, the next one, if you want to know more about Spain, how much can you actually earn if you're considered to move to Spain, if you want to kill a myth, etc. Just stick around for that one. Okay, so aside from that, and talking specifically with regards to CRM, if you want to have a chat, or if you have doubts or questions, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, drop them on the comments below. I will address them. And aside from that, also, if you have any questions that I will not be able to address, I'm happy to reach out to people within my network across different countries, okay, around CRM, and most likely they are happy to share their view and thoughts with you. Okay, so with that, I'm just closing this episode. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and join me on this journey. Take care. Peace.